I can breathe again when I'm driving an Uber or a Lyft, including riders, because it is now optional. Find out what all the changes are right now. Hey everyone, Chris here for the RideShare Guy. You know, it's been a little over 2 years now since that mask policy went into place, so it's pretty much going back to what it used to be, but there are still a few caveats when it comes down to it. So let's go over what it means for both drivers and passengers, what it's gonna look like with these changes, and I'll share my thoughts after the fact. But I also want to hear what your thoughts are on this update, so make sure you comment below with your thoughts. And also, have you been really following the mask mandate, or have you kind of just been letting it up to the riders getting in your car or the drivers and seeing how it feels out? Well, let us know in the comments below. Now, this all comes from yesterday's court decision from a judge overturning the CDC's mask guideline for transportation hubs, including Uber, Lyft, and other rideshare platforms. Now, this came earlier today from Uber that they were dropping their mask mandates, and very recently, Lyft also lifted their mask mandates. See what I did there? Lifted there. All right, but either way, what is this going to mean for drivers and riders? Well, going forward, it's optional, meaning you can wear it if you want, or you don't have to if you don't want to. The CDC and both Uber and Lyft still recommend that you do wear them, but it is no longer mandatory. Now, not only does this change the mask policy, but it also changes the front seat policy. So once these restrictions went in place 2 years ago, it had brought the number of people down by 1 who could order a Lyft regular ride, a Lyft XL, an Uber X, an Uber XL. So it went from 4 to 3 and up to 6 to up to 5 because there was nobody allowed in the front passenger seat. So that restriction of no passengers up front has shifted, and now it is only strongly recommended that passengers ride up front only when necessary. Now, what are your thoughts on these changes? Do you like it? Were you following them to begin with? What was going on? Comment below and let us know. Now, for my thoughts, I think it's finally good that they put a recommendation in place instead of a requirement for all. I think the recommendation is a much better approach. It cuts down on so many issues like confrontations, like these people who are, trying to snitch on each other for not wearing masks or whatever it might be. I think it gets rid of all that. All those problems. It's good. It's going to be a lot better overall. And if you don't feel comfortable with somebody who's not wearing a mask, cancel the ride. That's up to you. That's your call, whether you're a driver or a rider. So again, if you don't feel safe, just cancel the ride. And I also really like the strong recommendation of having everybody sit in the back unless it is necessary to have somebody up front. I think that's better. It's just better overall. I've had that opinion from the beginning, even though really it didn't bother me if somebody sat up front. It just depends on the situation. But again, I think it's better to have Uber and Lyft strongly recommend passengers sit in the back unless necessary to sit up front. All right, for all breaking news when it comes to Uber and Lyft, when it comes to different changes that could affect you as a driver or a rider, make sure you're subscribed and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified when new videos come out. Also, unfortunately, sometimes YouTube does not always recommend the content. So if you want to make sure you get all of our articles, all of our updates, all of our YouTube, well, then make sure you sign up in the newsletter that's in the description below. Now check out the next video right here, which is going to explain Uber versus Lyft and which one is better to drive for. Again, hit that subscribe button and drive safe, everyone.